Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back KS family. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently down 2.73% to 39,610. Ethereum down 1.26% to 29,67. From my 30 plus years in financial markets, I explain the smart money mindset to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth in the process. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. We'd love to have you here. I've left helpful links in the description of this video. If you're going through a life pullback at the moment, please know that our community's love and healing thoughts are with you. You're not alone. The sun will come out again, and there's always hope. As a community, we focus on maintaining a positive excellence life trend, one that has inner peace and outer peace. This is a really important thing. We're in crypto to make money, but it's really important that you enjoy your life at the same time. Money is a solution to some things, but not an answer to meaning. The purpose of focusing on a positive excellence life trend, all of these components are designed to take you away from any form of retail thinking, and retail thinking is really insidious. Let's have a look today at gratitude. There's inherent beauty and magic in life. You can either be grateful or fearful. Starting each day in gratitude, ending each day in gratitude is a way to bring more meaning and fulfillment into your life, and it runs independently of money. Gratitude can be a very, very powerful weapon to fight sickness. Fight sickness with an unrelenting positive attitude of gratitude. There's so many things that we can be grateful for. I let the community know yesterday that I wasn't feeling the best. I had 2 jabs, one in each arm, and it absolutely knocked me out. And It's an Air's Life said, it's an amazing thing. You do not project your feelings of discomfort in any of your videos. You always have the same positive attitude. And this is really true because I'm just so grateful to get up each morning, so grateful to come and share with you, so grateful for our beloved community. There's so many things that you can look at that actually pep you up. And another thing, if you're fighting any form of sickness, I have a way of thinking. I just will not let sickness win. I just say, get out of here, sickness. It's a good method to not let any form of sickness gain control over your life. And we know life resets daily. Every day, every chance to start again just rises with the sun. It's just a beautiful thing. It doesn't matter what happened yesterday. You can have the life that you always dreamed of right now, and it starts in your mind. Every successful investor and trader, and we know all investors become traders anytime they buy or sell, they go through 4 stages. Everybody does. If people say that they were born a winner, that's not true. We all have to learn. We all have to pay the cost of our tuition, and the markets demand the tuition fee of losses. Zone 1, the panic zone. Zone 2, the blame zone, conflict, jealousy. Zone 3, patience and rules. Zone 4, mastery of fear. It's really important to know that the positive excellence life trend actually creates behaviors that do not permit Zone 2 and Zone 1 behavior. That's why we look at it every day. As a former lecturer, I always need to reinforce to my students what's really, really important. And this is not important. This is absolutely critically vital. I can't say it any other way. Getting out of Zone 1 and Zone 2, the certainty, high stress, terror zones, and into Zone 3 and Zone 4 will turn your life around in so many ways. And I put this little thing here of Jesse Livermore. Jesse Livermore created day trading, and he at one stage was one of the richest people on the planet. But it didn't end well for Jesse Livermore. In fact, unfortunately, he took his own life because he didn't feel worthy. You can see that just having money will not solve problems. You need to have meaning and self-worth in life. That actually comes through a positive excellence life trend. The community had a couple of questions and I wanted to address those. I said a couple of episodes ago that I believe the next 5 years will be traders' paradise, basically, trading years. That's because I expect a lot of volatility in the market. What happens traditionally is that investors just hold and hold and hold, just long term, seeking for prices to go up. They literally hold on for dear life. They have diamond hands, which is a really powerful talent. But traders are a little bit different. They get on the right side of the percentage. They buy when the price goes red. They sell on green. Buy on red, BOR. Sell on green, SOG. BORSOG. They BORSOG. They have a diamond mind. When you combine trading capability, a diamond mind, and investing capability, which is a diamond brain, you're diamond all over. It's fantastic. Every single investor must know how to trade or else they can't time their entries and exits. I believe that there will be unprecedented opportunities for us over the next 5 years. I'm not saying the markets are going to crash and burn or anything like that. I'm just saying they're going to be volatile. They could potentially be up and down and all over the place. And that really suits us. Why does it suit us? Because we make volatility our best friend. We're buying on red. We're on the right side of the percentage. That's rule 359. Be on the right side of the percentage. So many people say, be on the right side of the trade, be on the right side of the investment. You don't need to worry about those things. You must be on the right side of the percentage. If you time it correctly, you can make money in any market, but only by being on the right side of the percentage. There were so many amazing comments on NFTs. Gabriel had a really great comment. I think NFTs have amazing use cases. Contracts, supply chains, records, domain names, gamings. Collectibles are only a small percentage. I feel image and video NFTs are overhyped. Every company is now jumping on the bandwagon. A collectible NFT should have a secondary use case, like a club entry, discount, etc. And also, Kevin had a really good comment. Agreed. I think a great use case for NFTs, for special privileges in different communities, i.e. early access tickets or discounts for fan clubs, etc. This is a really good point. And of course, every NFT should have something like that. The Meditative Mind also had a fantastic comment about NFTs. The future use cases for NFTs and their application extend far beyond gaming and art and are endless. Absolutely agree. They represent proof of ownership that cannot be replicated, replaced, or changed. It can extend to licensing, authenticity, real estate, insurance, fintech, etc. Absolutely fantastic, my friend. Very good comment. Metaverse. That is the next evolution of the internet and will extend our reality and day-to-day lives into a combination of augmented, virtual, and mixed reality. It's where we will work, socialize, shop, play games, relax, and transact. How awesome. Flamingo Crypto had a really beautiful thing to say and very insightful comments as well. In yesterday's episode, TSP actually put forward that his 9-year-old son was not so well in hospital, but fortunately his son is out, which is fantastic. And Flamingo Crypto said, TSP, if you see this comment, I am very happy that your precious son is at home and doing well. We all feel that way as well. We're a community of love and kindness. We wish the very best for all of our community. And Flamingo said about NFTs, I believe NFTs are only in the very early stage. Eventually our homes will be an NFT and all information related to our home or land will be recorded there. No more middlemen, no more title searchers, companies, real estate agents, mortgage companies, etc. No more fees on top of fees, no more signing 1,000 pieces of paper in an office at closing. Oh, it's just so terrible to sell houses. Everything will be done on the blockchain and it will be done peer-to-peer. I look forward to that day. I think we all do, Flamingo. And this is the innovation that will actually occur. NFTs, the reason I want to get people involved in NFTs, I want to get you familiar so it's not a blind spot. The other thing about NFTs, it's fantastic that the big companies like Blizzard are coming in. Why is that? Why do we want big companies to come in? Because actually it provides a constant stream of investor attention, and that's what we track as crypto technical analysts. Arn S28 says NFTs will become very big once a company like Blizzard adapt them in their games, like World of Warcraft and Diablo. Both games are absolutely huge. Those games are very popular and items could be bought, sold in-game with in-game currency. It's really huge. And basically players will go nuts over getting their hands on ownership of NFTs. It's really, really good stuff. Thank you, Arn. And Patrick said something really, really clever. I think NFTs have a great long-term use case as ownership certification for all sorts of our real-world products. I think in 10 years, anything that has a serial number will also have an NFT attached to it. High-ticket theft will become a thing of the past. You can see how clever these comments are. And when we look through NFTs and what they can become, it's just mind-blowing. I always counter the positives and the negatives. I believe in a balanced approach to everything. Ruben says, as for NFTs, I kind of feel that big corporations like the NBA and Emirates see it as more of a quick cash grab than actually creating something that has utility and value for their customers. This is actually really important to talk about. Big corporates always need to grow their top line, their revenue. It's absolutely vital, and they need to grow their bottom line profit as well. NFTs have a lot of margin in them, which means they're very profitable for these big companies. That's why those companies are getting into them. But actually what happens is they pull in adoption. They say to the masses, the people that aren't in the crypto sphere, hey, buy this NFT. And something really interesting, DC is in 3 days, 8 hours and 57 minutes and 38 seconds. They're going to bring out this collection of BatCows. It's very fascinating. The concept is 200,000 unique BatCow NFTs will be brought out for the price of $300. And there's a lot of stuff happening in here. They're adding functionality to it. And there's, they say, billions of possibilities. And all of these BatCows will be collected by collectors. And when you look at the Marvel universe, the DC universe, all of these characters, they sell like wildfire. It's just going across to the digital space. I'm going to be there with bells on. Look at that, collected NFTs, 0. Oh, Ken, because we can't buy any yet. I love what Brett said as well. I'm looking forward to the day when they offer classical art as an NFT and I can own a piece of a Monet or one of the other great masters. How beautiful. This could be actually a new income stream for museums to get them more funded. What a beautiful thing. A lot of good can be done and a lot of good can come from NFTs as well. Daniel also said something really, really good. And look at this structured thinking. I just love it. What do you think about NFTs? NFTs will have a huge impact on the future. Young people will be perplexed at how we used to carry around driver's licenses and passports. The best thing about that, digital identification will help reduce human trafficking. That is a good thing. NFTs will help adoption. They already have. But I think the true paradigm shift will be later, probably in 7 to 10 years. Can you imagine if you could go into a time machine and go back to the start of Bitcoin and buy up, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 Bitcoin? That would be pretty fun, wouldn't it? I feel we're at the same stage with NFTs. They're just starting to rock and roll. And Daniel goes on to say they will become a part of every transaction that requires proof of ownership or could benefit from verifying authenticity. How awesome. And Daniel puts a question out to all of us, and I think this is a really good question. There probably will be many more use cases than we can anticipate. Why don't we as a community try and figure out what they could be? I'd love to hear your comments on this. Well done, Daniel. We can also think about it from a personal perspective, very, very practical. When you carry around your wallet or your purse, those things are bulging with cards and identification and all sorts of things. And wouldn't it be nice if it didn't bulge so much? Daniel also said something fantastic about the metaverse. I could imagine doctors treating diseases remotely using metaverse-inspired technology. I'd just like to point out a couple of really good comments as well from Whale. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Red expresses love, and our community loves red. Oh, how beautiful. Thank you, my friend. And Antmax, who's saying that our family, building a big family which is based on kindness and mutual support. Thank you also to Crypto Monkey. What a beautiful comment. I love the shout out to TSP and his son. Happy to hear his son had a successful operation, and definitely looks like there is a second generation CTKS trader in the making already. How gorgeous. And from TSP, thank you. I think ours is the only community where the family takes the time to read everyone's messages. It's absolutely correct. I read every single message that's posted on YouTube, and I can't say enough of how much I appreciate everyone. There's so much love and kindness inside our community. It's really, really special. Many people have said in the comments that this is the first channel that they've actually made a YouTube comment on. That's just so heartwarming and touching. And that is our community. We are kind, we're caring, we don't attack each other. If you'd like to comment and you haven't before, maybe just say hi. We'd absolutely love to hear from you. I also asked a question, which one of these particular tokens, Ape, Mana, Sand, Theta, Axie Infinity, Tezos, Cake, Flow, would you want to get into based on the charts? And I'll tell you which chart I found particularly interesting. It was Theta, or Theta. Potato. Okay, what I actually see here, there's a lot of support running through here for the last 90 days. And that's a little bit different from the other particular cryptos. This one looks quite positive as well. It's got some upward momentum in it. It's just bypassed a level of resistance as well. We know all price moves in a wave, so that's no problem for it to come down, but it's looking pretty good. Other people said they liked Axie, and Axie is also good, but it's just a little bit lower on the support. You can see Theta has actually more power in it than Axie at the moment, but both could do very well. And we can also see that when we look at Axie, it's just consolidating at the present time. It's really interesting to look at these charts, the 90, the 60, the last 30. They can be very, very useful to you. And well done, everyone. There's really no right or wrong answer. It just comes down to what you understand about the project and the technicals as well, and what particular projects you like. One thing that I always try to do is I try to minimize downside risk. And when we look at something like Theta, it's looking really good, but we'll just see how it all plays out. Some people may have think that I picked this one because it's been green over the last 90, over the last 60, and the last 30. That's not actually the case. It's the technical structure of this particular crypto that I like. It could all be red and I would still say the same thing. As crypto technical analysts, we scientifically track investor attention as measured through price, which is reality, not future promises. A lot of investors get caught up on future promises. Everything sounds great. Without something to actually entice people into a project, without good promises, things don't go anywhere. Of course, delivery on the promise is reality. You could say it's the difference between somebody who says they will do something, which is a promise, and then they actually do it, other than somebody who says they will do something and they don't do it. In Zone 1 and Zone 2, we pay a lot of attention to promises. In Zone 3 and Zone 4, absolutely no attention to promises. Promises are fluff. What we actually look at is what is happening. We run the numbers. Rule 359, be on the right side of the percentage. How do you get onto the right side of the percentage? The first thing is to know that when you turn a small percentage on a regular basis, you do really, really well. If you just turn 10% return cumulatively once a week across the entire year, on average, you get 117x return. That's not bad, but you need a lot of knowledge to do this. You need rules, you need patience, you need that real wealth focus, or else self-sabotage and self-doubt will get you. And you must buy when you're making a loss. Buy on red, BORSOG. The crypto market has a ton of value and potential inside it. Why is that? Isn't it some kind of fad like the internet? No, it's not a fad. It's the upgrade of the internet, from the internet of information to the internet of money. It's an amazing, unbelievable thing, and it has decades and decades to run. We're not even hitting real adoption yet. We're really, really early, and this thing has years to play out. Can you imagine when the dawn of the internet was and Jeff Bezos was founding Amazon? If you got in on Amazon back there, you would have been doing pretty well. It's like you're there right now with crypto. So what has happened to the crypto market? About time. TM6, Masterclass students, you'll get my live charts in TM6. We've seen fear spike up. Now I want to talk to you about this because this is really important to understand. I was saying back here that I wanted fear to actually spike up and hit the around 30 level. And it didn't. It just kept on coming down. And that is always a problem, because if you do not have a healthy retracement in terms of fear and optimism, what happens is something like this. You get these sell-offs that absolutely panic people. And especially if people are in Zone 1 and Zone 2, there's a lot of people selling here, and they're lovingly selling into the arms of the institutions. The institutions will look after all those Zone 1 and Zone 2 people, and it's not a nice feeling, because we've seen it plenty of times before. Price spikes down, and then what does it do? It spikes back up, spikes down, spikes back up, spikes down, spikes back up. This is the nature of financial markets. And I can hear you say, Ken, but the markets look so unstable. I'm looking at this, it's going to tank. If it was actually going to go all down and more, go to zero, which a lot of the retail influencers are saying, what we would see in gold is a risk-on activity. Gold would be starting to rally, and not just now. Smart money is smart money for a reason. It sees things way before other people see see anything, they would be rallying up. They would be putting more and more and more money into gold. And gold is in a long-term uptrend, but you can see it's coming down at the moment. Has it violated this support level? Well, we know things can get wonky, so it's not determined yet. But the concept is gold is not spiking, and that's pretty important. What about bond prices? If the entire market was falling through the floor, people would move their money out of the stock market into the bond market. They are literally two different markets, and they're both huge markets, hundreds of trillions of dollars globally. So we would look for that spike, and we would look for a really big spike. Where is it? It's not there. And yields would spike down. Where is it? It's not there. These are the things that you have to bear in mind. This is why I show you these charts every day, so that you can actually understand the smart money view of the market. When we look at oil, what's oil doing? It's starting to look pretty positive. Does it mean it can't come down? Of course it can come down, but it's got a lot of support down here at the 95 level. It looks to try to be clearing this level of resistance. It will do so at 110. These are the things to bear in mind. What is happening with the US dollar currency index, the Dixie or DXY? We can see we had a sell-off. Why do we have a sell-off? And then it retraced. What is this about? It's just natural price action. When things get too overextended, they must retrace. This is why if this retraced earlier, the VIX, the fear gauge of the stock market, we would be witnessing an entirely different thing. But the institutions don't work that way sometimes. When they're really, really confident that things are going to turn around, when Main Street is thinking, oh, everything is broken, I must abandon ship, that's exactly when the institutions are accumulating their positions. What we can see as well is the Fed's hawkish comments. They're going in with the baseball bat. They have actually brought the inflation, break-even inflation rate on the 10-year down. And they haven't done too much to the 5-year. Now, what is this all about? Basically, markets price in things way before time. And this is a reason why a lot of people get shaken out of the market at the wrong time. They think when the Fed actually increases rates and they get around to actually pulling the lever, then things will actually kick down. It's already happened. And this is probably the good thing to know when it comes to the difference between retail thinking, which is highly emotional and has typically quite a short memory, and smart money thinking, which is very long-term thinking and has a long memory. They run the numbers as well. When you look at the two types of thinking, you want to get out of retail thinking no matter what you do, because not only will it stress you, it will cost you a huge amount of money. And we can see we got an update on the Fed balance sheet. It's just come down slightly to 8.9 trillion, pretty much the same as what it was before. One thing that you don't want to do is to ride the roller coaster of emotion in retail thinking. If you're getting emotional about your investments, if you're getting emotional or stressed out about your trading, and no, all investors become traders anytime they buy or sell, that means that you're trapped in zone 1 or zone 2. You don't want to live in those zones. They're horrendous zones. They're so stressful. And stress, as we know, is really bad for the health. What you want to do is to come across to zone 3 and zone 4, the smart money thinking. Smart money is always cool. It doesn't change behavior. Smart money is not up and down, and they don't get angry. They learn. Things don't always go your way. Why? Because it's all about probability. There is no certainty inside financial markets, especially in crypto. There are rules, however, and patience and rules and knowledge are a knockout combination. Rule 45, no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. Yesterday, a lot of people thought it would come back into A and would touch around this support. Well done, everyone. We know the price is always moving in a wave. It's moving up and it's moving down. Now we've got a level of support, and it's quite a good level of support. Does that mean we are 100% certain that it won't go down further? There is no certainty in financial markets. If there was certainty in financial markets, you would not have a return. You get the return because of the uncertainty. What we can see is that we could get a tail down into B, and if we did, there's a natural stop of 36,841. And we could also see a liquidation in shorts that could push the price up because we're starting to enter weekend trading. When we overlay the NASDAQ, what do we see here? A big push down, and we saw that in the charts before. We can see the same thing happening with crypto, but have we seen a follow through? This is a 4-hour chart. In the last 8 hours, crypto has said, yeah, I don't think so. Well, I'm not going down. I'm going to consolidate near here. This is actually really, really positive. It means there are a lot of buyers stepping in. And who are these people stepping in? It's the longs, of course. The longs are going long again. And what about the shorts? The shorts have kicked up as well. Let's have a look at liquidations. Let's see what mischief is afoot there. We've seen over the past 24 hours 112.42 million occurring across a little over 37,000 positions. In the past 24 hours, we can see around 66% of liquidations were long. What about the past 12? 70%. What about the last 4? 62% nearly. What about the past hour? 90%. Oh, the longs are getting hit right now. Okay, let's have a look down and see what our liquidations are like. We can see 73 million in long, 36 million in short. The longs and shorts are always getting hit. Poor old longs and shorts. It's a horrible way to live right there. What we see is as we come into the weekend, you will see a decrease in volumes. Now, what does that mean? We see these drop-offs in volume. They're weekend trading. That means that there are not as many buyers and sellers around. What does that mean? It means that price can move around disproportionately. Please be aware of that. That can mean to the upside and that can mean to the downside. It's not necessarily just to the downside or to the upside. When looking into the underlying function of Bitcoin, we can see the futures open interest is on an uptrend. This is really good. It's actually cross resistance. A lot of people are getting scared here. This is where we as a community are leaning in because we don't have retail thinking. We've got smart money thinking. We're on the right side of the percentage. We love to BORSOG, but what is BORSOG? It's buy on red, sell on green. And here's BORSOG, the price eagle. And what is he saying? Buy on red. It's also good to check out the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. What are we seeing here? Fear has leveled out. And potentially there's a bit more fear coming into the market. But what do? We actually buy fear. We love fear. We're fearless. Why is that? Because we don't seek tops and bottoms for one, which is really, really important. Zone 1 and Zone 2 is always seeking a top or a bottom. That's a hallmark of wanting certainty. There is no such thing as certainty inside financial markets. And when people want certainty, they get penalized. What we want to do is just get on the right side of this percentage and actually exit as it goes up. You can do really, really well by doing this methodology. One of the most vital rules that you can keep in mind is Rule 4. Price moves in waves. It's always waving up and waving down. That's why as Zone 3 and Zone 4, professional, smart money, investors and traders, we make in advance probabilistic choices. We know what we're going to do if price goes in our direction, goes against us, or goes just flat and gets boring. Over the past 7 days, the greatest winners are Ape on nearly 23%, Luna 16%, DCR 15%, CRV a little over 13%, Cake 13%, Carver nearly 9%, TRX nearly 9%, LRC coming up to 8%. Let's look at the top cryptos. What do we see here? Bitcoin just a little bit under support, but we've seen this a number of times. I've just tried to keep your eye on these two long wicks. That is a potential. What actually happens? Many people that do technical analysis, they will apply conventional technical analysis, stock market and Forex, TA, to the crypto market, and we know that can't actually hold up because crypto across its entirety is exponential price action. What happens in the stock market is generally you have very slow price action. You get, of course, some outperforming stocks, but generally they're not exponential by nature. Nothing like what crypto is. Crypto can wick around like this. It can go down here and up there in a heartbeat, and it's just normal price action. When people actually apply normal TA, not CTKS TA, what actually happens is that they get stopped out of so many positions. You can see it all the time. If you're leveraging at the moment, you have to understand that that is incredibly risky. You can lose everything in your account. It's much, much better to buy at spot. Why is that? Because crypto is already leveraged. A few people reached out and said, Ken, why do you think the markets are technically sound? I don't understand. I've heard by all these retail influencers that everything is going to zero. And those retail influencers were the same ones that said everything's going to rocket when the price goes green. Now, why do I think that? Because I understand institutions. I worked for them for a long time. What they do, institutions have a window. In that window, they can make magic happen for them. Unfortunately, retail is often on the other side of that, and it can get ugly for retail. That's why I want to let you know how smart money institutions think, and I want to help you to become an institution of one. Even when price was coming up like this, I kept on reminding people of these downward spikes. Be aware of that. That's why we have a 10-5-10 fund. We make volatility our best friend. We're always expecting it, and we know we can always buy lower. So that means whenever you're into something, you don't have to buy at market, which means you accept a price which is not in your favor. And buying at market means that you've basically pushed the percentage against yourself. We don't do that. We buy under, and we know the price is so volatile. For example, if we look here, Bitcoin was doing this just recently, and I was saying just beware, it could come down. We could test. And when we look at these things, what did we see? We actually came down and tested. That's fine. And a lot of people would say, but Ken, we're under it. It's all over. That magical line has been crossed. Magical lines, don't worry about them. There's so many lines on these charts in truth. What you actually see is that there's another magical line underneath here, and we haven't come close to that one yet. That's why we use the CTKS method to mark up our charts. We know where those magical lines are. And another thing that I can tell you, future promises don't have to be positive, they can be negative. A lot of people say the future promise is that the market will tank, for example. Well, what's price doing? What's reality doing? Yes, it's had a retracement, of course, but that is an unhealthy reaction to the fact that we didn't spike in the VIX enough. Now we can see how things are actually working, and there's stability inside the market as measured through gold and bond prices, bond yields, all sorts of things. If you think about that, that's why we do what we do every day together, so that you become immune to retail thinking and retail influences. Most of the influences are retail, unfortunately. That's why we don't put a skull and crossbones and screaming faces on our thumbnails, because there's no need for it. When you get a screaming face, that's a buy signal. When you get a rocket, that's a sell signal. Screaming face, skull and crossbones, buy. Rocket, happy faces, thumbs up, sell. That's the difference. And you can see it play out all the time. You can just do your own research on that one. It's very apparent. What do we see here? What is this blue line, you say? Ken, what's that blue line there? That is Bitcoin's price action. You can see Bitcoin here. That's Bitcoin's price action. And I call it Bitcoin's fingerprint or Bitcoin's gravity. What you will see is that no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. Some can do so momentarily, but they get pulled back with a vengeance at some stage. And we've seen this play over and over and over again in the crypto market. So how's Ethereum going? Well, it's going not too badly. It's just consolidating at a level of support. That's it. What's Binance Coin doing? Doing the same as Ethereum, consolidating at a level of support. What about XRP? XRP is looking a little bit weaker, unfortunately. And I say this is unfortunate because it is unfortunate. We want XRP to rally up. We want XRP to smash the SEC out of the ballpark because the SEC wants to try and do bad things with crypto. And it's not having a very good time with XRP. That is something that we will actually be a catalyst. For example, if the court case between between Ripple and the SEC was to finish tomorrow, for example, we would see a settlement in all probability and the markets would absolutely and utterly rally. Why would that be the case? Because the institutions would get a green light to come in and to buy. The SEC keeps on dragging and dragging and dragging everything out for as long as they possibly can. So when this will end is anybody's guess, but they're getting a shorter and shorter rope. They're coming to the end of their line. ADA, when we look at ADA, is just getting pushed around by Bitcoin. We can see Bitcoin's gravity pushing ADA down. Naughty Bitcoin. What do we see with Solana? We can see Solana getting pushed around, but it's stronger. That's not bad. Well done, Solana. And what can we see with Luna? Luna's getting pushed around just like everything else, but it's looking fairly strong. Well done. If you want to get into Luna, always understand that you could get a dramatic spike down to around 60. If you can stand that, that's good, because Luna is a crazy good project to be involved with. Let's have a look at AVAX. AVAX is getting pushed around by Bitcoin as well, and it's coming down to a level of support. One thing that we always say, if you want to know what happened to your beloved alt, look at Bitcoin, because Bitcoin did it. Let's look into the community favorites. We can see Gala getting pushed around by Bitcoin, and we're going to see this time and time again. RSR getting pushed around by Bitcoin. What this actually means is that your alt is tied to Bitcoin's fate. What can we see with Icon? It's getting pushed around by Bitcoin, but look at the strength of Icon. This is really, really good stuff. Go Icon. When we look at VRA, VRA still has support under here, but it's getting pushed around by Bitcoin. What about ZIL? It's coming back to a support level, quite a strong one. That's looking good. What about Rune? Coming back to support, but the support is just a little bit lower, probably around the say the $8 mark, so it's just a little bit above that. What about IOTA? IOTA is actually on the way up. This is quite nice. When you look at different patterns, this is forming a specific pattern that the Masterclass students know all about. It's really positive and it's basically a screaming buy. But as always, you must do your own research and you must be comfortable with the risk. IOTA can get really spiky. Even though it's a buy, it doesn't mean that it can't come down lower. Remember, just ignore tops and bottoms. If you're focusing on the concept of a bottom, you're already going into zone 1 and zone 2 thinking. You don't want to do that. You want to get on the right side of the percentage. And you can see DOT coming back into a support level as well, looking quite healthy. There are a lot of opportunities in the community favorites, and I always say you must do your own research and you must be aware of the risks of up and down price momentum. Let's have a look at the metaverse and the NFT plays. SAN coming up to a level of support. Don't forget, it's just following Bitcoin's gravity, and this is a really important thing. When you understand how Bitcoin impacts your beloved alts, you'll have much less stress in the crypto market, but you also need a lot of knowledge to navigate properly. Axie Infinity also, like sand, coming into a level of support. Could be very, very interesting to see what happens. Mana, looking a little bit weaker than sand and Axie at the moment. Near, getting a bit wonky. We may experience a bit of downward price momentum because it's come up a lot. This consolidation could either break to the upside or to the downside. We must be aware of that. Let's have a look at Engine. Engine looking pretty good. It has support below it, and this is what we always want to look for. We want to lower our risk. Ape has been doing really well. Ape is one of those particular tokens that has the market's attention. And what can we see here with the current price action? Ape came up with Bitcoin and then started to sell down before Bitcoin sold down. And now what do we see here? A bit of a kick up. And it started to kick up before Bitcoin kicked up. Keep your eye on Ape. Ape is really, really interesting. I think there's a lot of dynamics that can be learnt by looking at Ape because it has investor attention, and that's what crypto technical analysts are all about. Let's have a look at Chiliz. Chiliz has an absolute bucket of support below it, which is fantastic. SLP doesn't have that much support below it. The next one will be around 128, but we know that these cryptos are absolutely governed by Bitcoin's gravity, and they can move around a lot. This is also another reason why we just don't go in at one spot. A lot of people are used to going in at one level, and they tend to buy it at market, which means they don't wait for their order to be filled. They just say buy now, and they just take whatever the market will give them, which is usually way too much. It's overpriced. What we do as professionals is we always buy lower and have different levels of support that we buy at. We also have a 10-5-10 fund. Remember the concept. Starts as $10, goes down to 5, goes back to 10. You could say, oh, I just recovered. That's one way of thinking. But if you have something that is 10 and it goes to 5, that's a 50% loss. But from 5 back to 10, ooh, that's a 100% gain. You should get you some of that. We've just gone through 24 cryptos, from Bitcoin to AVAX, from Gala to DOT, and from SAN to SLP. If you could only pick 2 out of these 24, please let me know in the comments what you would pick. It's really, really important to keep on refining your view of the market, and you know that our community is so loving and caring and supporting. Everybody is there for each other. It's a very non-toxic place. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing and liking this video, and also subscribing to the channel. We'd love to have you as part of our globally extended family. Thank you very much to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers, and to the CTKS ambassadors for mentoring masterclass students. And of course, a very big thank you to you for watching and for being part of our global KS family. If you would like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, please subscribe to YouTube. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, such as the tax software I use. And this tax software is really good. You can use it to track your trades and the profitability you get, and also your fees. Excel spreadsheets just really don't work. And there's also links to the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass. You can get 80% off by clicking this link. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care, and see you next time. Bye for now.